One of the bucket lists Antonio and I had was visiting the DMZ. Outside of K-pop and kimchi, it was probably the most famous thing about Korea. We wanted to visit the historical significance, hoping one day it'll be gone. It would be like visiting the Berlin Wall when it existed. Sometimes, tragedy shows the beauty of sadness, and more so, a reminder of the world we take for granted.
Basically, we googled the DMZ train route. I sort of memorized it, but the map helped a lot. The ride from the city was pretty long, but some people talked to me in Korean. I tried to talk back. A lot of old people also thought I was handicapped and offered me their seating. That was fairly thoughtful of them. I like how the train got less and less crowded as we left the city. Originally, I wanted to start at 8 AM, but Louis slept on forever. Jesus, this complicated things.
We went from backwater train station to backwater train station, realizing that this was what most of Korea looked like. Not the modern behemoth of Seoul, but the simple countryside of plain folk. When we ran out of trains to ride, a clerk told us to go back. The only train to the DMZ had left at 9 AM. We were devastated, but then I inquired about taxis and sure enough, we found a local that was willing to take us there. Taxis in these backwater towns were different from the ones in Seoul. For one, they weren't actually taxis. More like Uber drivers with taxi signs in their cars. For another, we might have to share rides with other passengers and hope we were all headed towards the same direction. No one in these backwater towns spoke English. Still, we had faith in our driver and the translation from Antonio's Google Translator.
Imjeong station was dead at first and there was hardly signs of anyone, but as we walked closer to the DMZ area, I was shocked to see the gift shops. There were DMZ chocolates and I Love DMZ t-shirts, stuff like that. Very weird and surreal. There's even a theme park. It didn't look serious. The tower guards seemed bored. Looking back, I wish we had went to the joint security area instead. But for what it's worth, Imjeong Park wasn't bad.
It was a breathtaking experience. You stand at the world's most dangerous place, staring at a field of 1,000 landmines. Mere miles was the world's most ruthless dictator, and millions of oppressed North Koreans feeling like they're in a fishbowl. The world was staring at them, but life continues. The DMZ showed what a crazy world we lived in. I found it sad and interesting that it was used as a tourist attraction. We weren't staring at birds or waterfalls, we were staring at other human beings. The tour had a depressing vibe. We left distracting ourselves with other topics and eventually found a taxi that take us back. The bum depression called for an opposite activity, and once in Seoul, we vowed to find something to drink. Korean drama, world-renowned and all over South Korean television. The exhausting trip to the DMZ meant we wanted nothing more than to chill and drink beer. Of course, we didn't drink Blue Moon or Heineken, we drank piss. Cask beer was really terrible. Asians just don't know how to make beer. Fortunately, the random Korean drama made up for the mundane evening. Trying to make sense of the plot was hilarious. We got drunk and ad-libbed everything.
The thing about Korean dramas is that it's always the same plot. The pretty girl falls in love with the pretty guy and he's always some sort of asshole or an unfortunate accident. Someone usually dies from a weird disease. The thing Korean dramas has taught me is that Koreans can be shallow and unrealistic. It is their ideal preference of how the world should be. But I guess that what makes it so funny. It's a contrast to American culture.